Good afternoon, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Swipe Left. I am your host. My name is Milan Treasure, and it is Saturday, 12 noon, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys. I'm ready to get started. You know what we're going to do. We're going to cut through the bull, we're going to sort through the mess, and when we get all the facts straight, we're going to do what? We're going to swipe left. Yes, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. It has been a wonderful week. I actually popped in on you guys earlier for Valentine's Day. Did you all get the sparkly things, honey? Did you get the currency? Did you get the chocolates, honey? More importantly, did you get love, honey? Did you get some loving? Did you fall in love? Did you find a new love? Did you make a decision on whether or not you were going to try a little bit of love? What happened, honey? What went down on the 14th? I would love to know. If you're brave enough, leave it in the comments. Anyway, without further ado, we got some things we got to talk about, so let's get started. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Today is February the 16th, and I am really ready to go. We got a couple things to talk about here. We're going to start off with something that is really light, and it's really some good news. Celebrity Big Brother has come to a close, and the winner, and I was shocked. Trust me when I tell you I was shocked. Tamar Braxton. Tamar Braxton has taken home $250,000 in prize money off of Celebrity Big Brother. No one could have told me in the beginning of this program that Tamar Braxton would be the one that would end up the last one in the house and actually be able to win this. A lot of this has to do with personality and that kind of thing, and not really like her living off of her fandom, if you will. It's not just, oh, I love the way she sings. It literally took people to have to get along with you and have to deal with you. And you know, Tamar, honey, she has some moments where she's not the easiest to deal with. But girlfriend pulled it off, baby. $250K later, honey. And she won Celebrity Big Brother. And it's actually a little bit of a history moment. She's the first African American person to actually win. So congratulations, Miss Tamar. You did it, girl. You did it. And swipe left. Let's talk about something that I've actually seen. There's like a little pattern. One, the genre of horror in movies seems to be growing. And you know, you won't see any horror movies come out for a while. And then all at one time you'll look up and there's nothing but horror movies on the market. Horror movie after horror movie after horror movie. So I said, okay, so we're back to this. We're back to the whole horror movie thing. And that's cool. That's cool. But what I'm actually seeing now is black horror movies. And this is different. I've been around for quite a while. Baby, we don't do well in the horror genre. Generally, if there are black folks in the movie, honey, the African Americans are gone in the very beginning scenes, honey. Or we're put in as comic relief, that kind of thing. We just have not, there's not been a lot of African American characters that play a large part in this genre of movies. But things are changing. And I think Get Out actually really did shift things a bit, and for the better. There's a movie, Octavia Spencer actually has a movie, and look, they're even getting some of our good actresses. It's not just garbage actresses. Octavia Spencer is actually going to be appearing in a new movie called Ma. And it's actually coming out in the spring. And I can't wait. I seen the trailer, and baby, let me tell you, when I seen it, I was having this little conversation with Dustin Ross. You all know Dustin Ross of the Friend Zone. We were speaking on Twitter, and I was saying, he said he couldn't wait to see the movie, and I was saying I couldn't wait to see it either, but I would love to be able to play that part. And he was like, yeah, I can see you doing that. Because, listen, from the previews, Octavia Spencer is as crazy as cat shit in this movie. I can't wait to see it. She's this woman who's just completely out of order. They call her Ma, and all the kids are able to go hang out over her house and drink and carry on and party when their asses are supposed to be at school. Now, we all know somebody like that. But baby, she tells them, we seen her telling the kids, y'all got to stay in the basement. Don't come upstairs. And I'm like, when somebody gets telling you stuff like that, look, girl, I'm not even going to stay in your basement, honey. I'm gone. And the funny part is, you see, the roles were really switched. It's really a lot of Caucasian kids. Because, the black kids would have been like, See, and then we'd have been thrown out the movie again. But they like going for it, and then she just starts stalking them, and she's into a whole lot of stuff, and it looks like she got some voodoo stuff going. I am so intrigued. And I cannot wait to see this movie, Ma. And like I said to Dustin, I would have loved to play this part or a part like this. If I'm going to do any acting, I would love to do this kind of thing. I would love to be on like an American Horror Story. I definitely want to play a villain. I just think that would be just so much fun. But anyway, shout out to Dustin Ross and the Friend Zone. Love you, love you, love you. Like I said, we are getting roles. We are having people who are really pushing forward and creating roles for African Americans. It is very, very good to see, and I am very excited. Also, we have Us is another movie that's actually coming out, Jordan Peele, that's coming out, and it's going to be a hit. It has Lupita Nyong'o as in the lead role. Come on. I can't wait. Big things being done by folks who look like me. So I love it. And on that, let's go ahead. We're going to clap a little bit, honey. Bravo, you guys. And swipe left. Okay, guys. I have a small little update. Jussie. Okay. So this is just really quick. Small update. There were 2 men who have actually been taken into custody, and they were questioned, and they were labeled suspects in the situation that took place with Jussie Smollett. Okay? No arrests have been made. One of the men have actually... It's been found that they actually worked on the set of Empire. Now dig this. This is the strange thing. The 2 men are Nigerian. This is getting stranger and stranger as we go along. Stranger and stranger as we go along. Jussie did his interview with Robin Roberts, and he feels as though he was targeted. He said he felt as though he was targeted, definitely because of the letter. You all remember about the letter that came that had the stuff that's about MAGA. And then different little times that he has spoken out against 45. And I'm like, okay, it's a lot. I'm still just taking it all in, you guys. I'm taking it all in. There was a rumor that it was all a setup. I think you've all heard this, but it was all a setup to help with the ratings for Empire. Listen, that's a whole mess. But there was a tweet. The tweet came out on Thursday, which was Valentine's Day, and it was from Empire writers on Twitter, and it said, "The writers of Empire have never planned or even discussed writing Jussie Smollett off of the show." So I think we can throw that into the garbage. Like I said, there's so much surrounding this. There's so much going on. It's getting to a point where you don't know what to think. So again, I'm going to swipe left on this for now. I'm going to keep my ears, eyes, and everything else open and out onto the streets, and I will let you know what I find out. Swipe left. Okay, shocking news. AJ of BET. Do you all remember AJ that used to be on BET? He used to host a lot of little shows, and he was kind of like a young adult star, if you will, on BET. It was Free and AJ, and he hosted a couple different shows, and we all loved AJ. And he always seemed like, to me, he kind of seemed like the nerdy little kid. He was kind of cute, but not really, and never really paid him any attention. Well, here it is. AJ has gotten caught up in the Me Too movement. It shows that there's like 9 women, allegedly, that have actually come forward saying that there was inappropriate behavior and there was some rape allegations as well against AJ. I don't know all the rest of the particulars on this story, but I am truly shocked. Truly shocked. And he's actually married with children. So I am truly shocked by this. Again, like I said, I don't know all of the particulars on this story, but I'm definitely going to be keeping my ear to the street about little AJ carrying on. Can't believe it. I was shocked by that story. Anyway, that's a mess. Swipe left. Okay, so what's not so shocking for me, not so shocking, is that there's some news about Real Housewives of Atlanta. And more specifically, Nene Leakes. Now, we are at the halfway point as pertains to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And Nene Leakes has been suspended. Allegedly, she's being suspended from the show. And it all has to do with, there's a trailer. When we get to the middle, they always have this extended trailer. So they show the trailer. Now, in the trailer, you can't really see who or why Nene's actually attacking. But in the midst of it, she attacked a cameraman. She kind of like clawed his back and this kind of thing. Like she was either trying to stop him from filming something or she was trying to get at somebody. But the behavior all around has gotten Nene suspended. And that suspension time is basically going to work out to $250,000 worth of lost wages. Ridiculous. This is like literally when reality TV gets too real. Come on, Nene. You know better than this. You've been playing this game way too long to get caught up in some mess like this. Attacking a cameraman? But again, I can't wait to see what's going on. Is she actually trying to stop him from filming something, or was he just in the way of her trying to get at somebody? I'm kind of leaning toward her trying to stop him from taping something, because I just think that Nene's a lot of hot air. Personally, that's my personal thing. I think she's a lot of hot air. I don't actually see her really attacking anyone. You know what I mean? So I think that it was more or less her beefing up and having camera balls with the cameraman, honey, and it ended up costing her $250,000, which seems pretty stupid to me. Pretty stupid. But whatever, Nene girl. Whatever. And just as things were heating up for Real Housewives, it was definitely heating up on Mona's side of the reality TV show world as well. Love and Hip Hop Miami star Jessie Woo. Now, Jessie Woo, some of you probably don't know a whole lot about Jessie. Jessie is a new cast member this season for Love and Hip Hop. But you're not going to get the chance to, if you haven't fallen in love with her already, you're not really going to get too much of a chance to finish falling in love with her because Jessie done got fired, child. They done messed around and fired Jessie down to the Love and Hip Hop Miami. It allegedly happened during a confessional recording. She was going to do her green screens, and something that Jessie said got the people at Love and Hip Hop Miami to tell her to leave and never return. It was something she said, and it wasn't so much, I'm hearing it wasn't so much of what she said on the green screen. That played a part as well, but it was more or less what she had been saying on social media. They were saying she's been doing a lot of talking on social media and saying that storylines are fake and things of this nature, basically speaking out against the show, which is a complete no-no. So I'm thinking Jessie must have not really been happy with her time there at Love and Hip Hop, because everybody knows better than that. Like, that's a given. If the storylines are fake, fine. You know, most people think that anyway. But it's really not your, just like working for McDonald's and then telling everybody that the Big Mac, the meat ain't real and the sauces are spoiled. You know what I mean? You can't down talk the product and still think you're going to make money with them. It's just crazy. And her time here has been so short. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I would love to hear the rest of this story and what actually led up to this point with Jessie. I didn't really know Jessie. Jessie comes from Instagram fame for the most part. She's very talented, very beautiful girl. She can sing, and she's a comedian. Okay. I was first introduced to her at T.S. Madison's Queen's Supreme Court, where she did a guest starring spot there the very first time. And then she did so well at Maddie's situation that she's been brought on and she's been back on the show another time. She's actually been doing live shows as well with Maddie. She does really, really well. And she seems to fit in very well with different crowds of people because, you know, Maddie's situation changes per show. And I've seen Jessie in like 3-4 different situations, and she always seems to maneuver and fits in. She's funny. She has definite comedic timing. That voice is really something good, and she's definitely something good to look at. So I don't know what happened. I would love to know what actually happened down at Love and Hip Hop Miami. I definitely think there's more to this story. There's something that actually drove her to this point. And the last episode, if you go back and look at my review from this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Miami, she bared a lot of her soul onto the show. So to give that much out and then come back and be saying that the storylines are fake, something not right. Something not right. I'll be keeping my ear to the street on this one too. But I like Jessie Woo. I like Jessie Woo. Now, you know, she was cutting up. She's really cutting up on Love and Hip Hop Miami. It's a different Jessie Woo than what you see with Maddie. You know, she definitely could get in there and wrangle with the girls of Love and Hip Hop. So it's really sad. I thought she was doing pretty well on the show. Anyway, I'll keep my ear to the street. If I find out anything you all know, I'll let you know. Swipe left. Okay. So we definitely have to have a fashion moment. We're going to have a pretty deep fashion moment right here. Let's talk about racism through fashion. You all know I really don't like to talk racism. I really don't. I don't really like the subject. It makes me very uneasy. I am a person who I don't live my life in color per se. I love all colors, and that's with everything. You've actually seen me even when I'm dressing. I love all the colors. I like to play with all the crayons in the box, okay? Same thing with how I live my life. I like to play with all the colors in the box, okay? But I can't ignore it When it is what it is, it just is what it is. I can't ignore it. It is starting to be very ridiculous and foolish, and it's coming up more and more and more, and it's all strapped to this fashion thing. And I'm like, what is going on? And what's bringing me to this is this latest situation that has happened is with Gucci. Gucci, now you know African Americans, and I can say this, and I can say this very standing straight up. African Americans have made Gucci what they are today, okay? We consume a lot of Gucci product, okay? Whether it was made for us in the beginning or not, African Americans get down with the Gucci brand, okay? Gucci came out with a sweater, and it's pretty much like a turtleneck, but the turtleneck piece comes all the way up and covers the mouth like a ski mask. And then they had the nerve to put red around it. And what it does is it looks like it is joshing fun at blackface. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. Now this is ridiculous because these things keep happening. First it was the H&M with the monkey on the monkey sweater and a little boy. That was out of order. Then you had Prada. They bust out with the little monkey keychains that look like blackface figures. Seriously? Seriously? And now we're talking, these are all fashion houses. Prada, H&M, Gucci. Fashion houses. It's not just one person, one solo designer putting something out and doesn't have to answer to anybody and nobody else seeing it and just hit the market. That's not what's going on. These things have actually gone through channels. They've slid across many tables and somebody said, oh, okay. We went through a whole shift of people saying it's okay. So what's really going on? That it's okay until it hits the market, it hits the media, and then folks snap out. Folks are snapping out, and then you all are coming out and making these apologies. I'm about getting tired of the apologies. Getting real tired of the apologies. And it's not just me. It's not just me. You know what? This time, with the little Gucci situation, T.I. got involved and had a lot to say through his social media. And it wasn't very nice things. And he basically called like a boycott against Gucci. And then you know how that snowballs. And sometimes it goes left. Well, here we go. It went left, you guys, because Floyd Mayweather, who loves Gucci, who not particularly so crazy about T.I., you know, they have a sordid past. They have a sordid past, honey. There was some little situation with, I'm not even going to go into that right now, but there's a situation with Floyd Mayweather and T.I.'s wife, Tiny, honey. So they're not the best of friends. And Floyd had actually come out and he actually said nobody's going to tell him what to wear and that he wasn't going to boycott Gucci. He's going to buy what he wants to buy. He's going to wear what he wants to wear. And I don't know that that actually had to do really with the actual plight at hand, or was it because the messenger was T.I.? So was it really, and y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, do you think it was a kill the messenger situation, or do you think he really felt that way in general? I think it had more to do with T.I. I think it was because T.I. was the one carrying the message. But anyway, T.I. basically went ahead and released a diss track called F-N-word. And when I tell you he is reading Floyd to the ground. To the ground. I said, oh my gosh. So here, they've actually taken this and took it somewhere completely different. And it's caused a whole new problem, which is very interesting, very entertaining. But I digress. Back to the actual situation at hand. I'm getting really tired of the racism stuff falling over into the fashion world and people allowing, because in my opinion, these things should never actually even meet the masses. These things should have been stopped in-house. It should have been stopped. Somebody should have said that. Nobody thought it was out of order. Nobody in the whole fashion house thought that was out of order. I can't believe that. And then even when we talk about the Grammys, we got fools. And yeah, I said it. Fools doing foolishness down to the Grammys. And I'm not even going to call these people's names out because they're not going to get any shine on my platform. But we got this dingbat chick who comes down with a barbed wire. Her gown has barbed wire on the shoulders, and it's somebody that painted on it. It was just it wasn't even done well, but it was the whole Make America Great situation. Child, that's all racism. That's all racism. But she's glorifying this wall with this dumb dress that she wore. And she's been known to do this before. She's done like things that are actually, she's really behind the whole Make America Great thing. And the funny part is, I'm looking at her and I'm like, girl, you're a minority. You're a minority, Ma. Do you honestly think that Make America Great, you think the whole slogan really had you in mind? I bet you it don't. I'd be willing to bet some money it didn't have you in mind, sis. Goofball. Anyway, moving on. There's a little boy. Now, he's the one that really, I'm not going to call his name out either, but I really looked at him crazy. Because even more so than it fit her, it really didn't fit him. He got blonde hair swept off to one side and a pair of pumps on. Pair of pumps. And Lady Gaga, like his whole outfit is literally, he had the jacket that had the Make America Great, and the rest of it was a nod to Lady Gaga. I promise you, the Make America Great movement didn't have you in mind, boo-boo. Promise you. And I sat there and I looked at that red carpet and I said, are these people serious? Are these people serious? And the bad part is, yes, they are. They are. But fashion for me has always been a safe place. Fashion for me is a place that I like to spend time, and I just never thought that I would run into so much ugliness as pertained to the fashion business. I can't believe that it's not being stopped. It needs to be stopped, and it needs to be done in-house. Y'all need to clean up on the insides of these houses and stop letting this garbage get out to the masses. Because we're starting to see you. We're starting to see you. We got our good eye on you all. You understand? Our good eye. Swipe left. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for spending time with me yet again on Swipe Left. I love you guys. I love seeing you guys on Saturdays. It makes my week. I'm telling you, it makes my week. And you know what? I actually had a whole bunch of folks who actually did do, on Valentine's Day, they did super chats. And those people are Liz H., Kitty Mia, Jay Wilson, Sean Bradley, Belize Finest, and Felita Williams. And Belize Finest actually did do a super chat as well on February 9th show as well when it premiered. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. One last thing that I actually want to talk about very briefly, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'm going to try not to. And this has to do with YouTube, because that's where we're at. And you know I love my YouTube. I do. I love it so much. And this has to do with a narrative. I've actually spoken about it a little bit. I spoke about it a little bit on Valentine's Day. But I'm really bothered. I am really bothered by the narrative of gay black men versus black women. This narrative really does bother me because, again, I'm not going to sit here and act like it totally doesn't exist. There are some gay men and there are some black women who just don't click. They just don't click. But I am coming to you because I got a little small platform here. And I have to use it for good. Just as much as I use it for mess. You understand? Do not, and I've said this, and I'm going to say it, you're going to get tired of hearing me say it. Do not buy into this narrative. You guys, we have to work together to stop this. We need to stop it now. There is no us against them and them against us. There is no battle. You all need to get to a point where you make sure that it doesn't begin. Because I'm watching and I see the wood being thrown toward the fire. And I want it to stop. I want it to stop. This does not have to be. This does not have to be. It's really, and there's just certain people, and those certain people, they know who they are. They know who they are. We don't have to start naming the homophobes. They know who they are. You know, they're the ones that always scream that they're not. I'm not homophobic. Okay. And the ones, and the gays that are out of order, you know who you are. I don't have to call your name. You know who you are. If you're starting mess, you need to stop. You need to stop. And you girls, if y'all are starting mess, you all need to stop. If you're miserable, you be miserable in your space. You be miserable over on your platform. Stop trying to create something that we don't need. There is enough drama on the YouTube streets. We don't need this narrative on top of everything else. We can handle everything else. We've been handling it. I mean, now it's, you know, it's getting to be a little deep. Y'all flying to the court system and all this stuff. Is this really what you all want? This is not what this is all about. This is not what this is all about. This is about getting to meet people, getting to learn things about other people. It's not about hating people. It's not about outing people. It's not about any of that stuff. So, I'm telling you all, pull it in, pull up, and cut it out. Yeah, beef is going to happen. As long as there's people making videos and people have opinions about things, beef is going to happen. It goes along with the territory. It's what you do with that beef. Don't smother it too much in gravy and we won't have a problem. You understand what I'm saying? Just chill. Season it well and go on. I'm not going to ever sit here and tell you all don't beef because everybody don't get along, child. Sometimes you got to get out in the street, windmill them real fast, and then go on back to your corner. But all this extra stuff, child, ain't nobody feeling all that mess. All this little vicious stuff. And, and I can be vicious, when pushed. I can be vicious, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I've been trying to be real good. I've been trying real hard to keep my head above the clouds. Because when I reach down, I really reach down. You know what I mean? Claws and talons out. So I don't want to do all that. But again, come on, y'all. We got to do better. We got to do better. And not feed into a narrative that's going to damage. It's because that narrative will do damage. True damage. That's a battle. You don't want to see that battle go down. Seriously. But I'm telling you, all of you all who want that narrative of us against them, we see you. Your dirty slip is showing. And I'm calling you out on it. I'm not saying names right now, but I'm calling you out on it. We see you. We see you. All of you all with the dirty slips. Clean up. Okay. And on that, Milan Trezor out. Swipe left. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you so much. I love you, and I will definitely see you all next Saturday at 12 p.m. Same place for Swipe Left. DJ, take me out of here.